Assembly instruction: BMW engine N62 V8 Part 1. Cylinder block. Crankshaft installation. Screw oil nozzles to cylinder block. Tightening torque 10 Hm. Set loose leaves of radical bearings crankshaft. Enclose in cylinder block loose leaves of radical bearings with groove for oil supply. Enclose in top loose leaves of radical bearings without groove for oil supply. Note: top of radical bearings 1, 2, and 3 are numbered. Top of radical bearings 4 and 5 not numbered. Screw threaded bushes into top of radical bearings. Lubricate loose leaves engine oil. Carefully place crankshaft in cylinder block. Lubricate crankshaft necks. Install top of radical bearings according indicated marking. Screw in bolts of radical bearings. Tighten all bolts of top radical bearings. Tightening torque 20 Nm. Remove bolts of fifth radical bearings. Knock on crankshaft behind and in front with rubber hammer to align thrust bearing. Tighten cover bolts of top radical bearing number 5. Tightening torque 20 Nm. Using a protractor, tighten all bolts of the main bearing caps to a specified angle of 100 degrees. To tighten threaded bushings, tightening torque 6 Nm. Tighten bolts with red flange head, tightening torque 34 Nm. Installation of piston group. Note: cylinder pistons 1 to 8 are identical, but cylinder rods 1 to 4 and 5 to 8 are installed on pistons in different ways. Cylinders 1 to 4. Install connecting rod in this way, so that arrow on piston is facing forward and flat side of connecting rod back. Flat side of connecting rod. Rear side of connecting rod. Cylinders 5 to 8. Install connecting rod in this way, so that arrow on piston and flat side look forward. Lightly lubricate piston's piston rings using engine oil, and mount lower oil detachable X-ing, consisting of 3 elements. First, central helically. Then the upper and lower ring. Spread locks of composite ring from each other by 2 to 3 centimeters. Medium compression ring, inscription up. Upper compression ring, inscription up. Locate locks of piston rings in different directions at an angle of approximately 120 degrees relative to each other. Locks of lower ring, middle ring lock, lock of upper ring. The location of locks resembles sign Mercedes. Note connecting rods and cover of connecting rod are marked with the same letters and must be installed together. To install piston group, need piston ring clamping, protractor, Torx E12, torque wrench. Lubricate the clamping of the piston rings and crimpet piston rings. Insert loose leaves of connecting rods. Note numbering of pistons is counting from front to rear of engine. Before installing pistons, lubricate each cylinder profusely. Insert the pistons, so arrowhead pointing toward timing chain. Warning: danger of breakage of piston rings. Push pistons with your fingers or neat shocks on piston head. Connect crank pin with conrod. Lubricate new connecting rod bolts. Note, bolts must be replaced with new ones. Tighten bolts for connecting rods with pre-tightening torque 5 Nm. Tighten torque 20 Nm. Using a protractor to make an angle of 70 degrees. Similarly, establish other pistons. Test piston group. The crankshaft must rotate effortlessly. Installation of oil pump. Lubricate by oil channel oil with O-ring and to insert oil pipeline to block. Lubricate pipeline and install oil pump on block. Install bolts M8. Tighten bolts M8. Tightening torque 34 Nm. Heads of cylinder block. Cleaning and lapping of valves. Cleaning the valves against dirty scalenja. For grinding valves it is necessary: engine oil, abrasive paste for lapping valves, nozzle reverse. Evenly apply paste on chamfer of the valve. Lubricate the valve stem with oil and insert into the guide bush. Lap clean valve. Lap clean valve due up to uniform plane until dirty scorch disappears. and to uniform plane on valve seat and removing dirt on the valve seat. Lapping first valve spends about 2 to 3 minutes. Note, after the lapping of the valve in the saddle of the channels, carefully wash off the paste. Note, rinse thoroughly several times. Paste for grinding is very caustic and is not removed immediately. Valve installation. Lubricate valve rods and insert into bushings. Clamp valves. Install oil caps. Install the spring and spring plate. Using tool, press the spring. Install the clips on the seat plate. Loosen spring. Valve is installed. Similarly, we set all other valves. The first stage of the assembly of the BMW N62 engine is complete. Subscribe to our channel and watch the sequel. See you soon!